Hi there, Agile friends. I'll come in here just with a quick note to let you know that the Agile Online Summit 2022 is coming soon. To know more, check out bit.ly/AOS2022. That's all one word, all lowercase, bit.ly/AOS2022. Now, stick around to the end of the episode if you want to know more, but for now, on to the show. TGIF, everybody. Today's Friday, and we talk about product owners with Shahin Sheidaei. Hey, Shahin, welcome back.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So, Shahin, we want to dive deep into the product owner role today. It's not an easy role. We know that. And because of that, it's very easy to fail at that role.
Right.
We'll talk about failure in a minute. And also, we want to know what makes great product owners, because obviously we need to know the role models to emulate and to help our product owners get to that level. But before we dive into that, do share with us, Shahin, what might have been potentially the worst product owner anti-pattern you've witnessed in your career.
The worst. I have one for you. It was in an organization. Again, I was helping a Scrum Master. I was there as an Agile coach. You can call it a Scrum Master helper in that organization. And each Scrum Master and for the team had a product owner dedicated to that team. And the product owners in that organization came from the line of business, or they were there for the longest time. They know the business, they know the ins and out, which was good. Like if you think about it, for the team was good. Like they have all the questions, right? What we found out was that this we found out afterwards. So the product owner, the way that he was directing and navigating the team to deliver was for his own benefits, because he knew that for the 6 months that he is going to be there, he needs to reach some certain level of achievement with the team, that this is what we achieved, right? And there was a culture in that organization that if you are in the line of business, you will stay in one role for 2 years, you need to change. If people stay in one role for 3 to 4 years, people would look at them that they are not able to move up, or they are not able to move to other line of businesses. So that was frowned upon, right? Like you can stay in the role for 10 years, but then people, oh, he's there 10 years, he must not be doing some really good job, right? Because no one wants to work with him anymore, right? So because of that, he was taking the team to the place that after that, we found out it was very hard to work on that project. We had the idea that this is going to be a product, that this is going to be a product team to work on, but after the first 6 months, we were not able. And we found out even after that, we found out that there were some backstabbing that happened. He was behind the Scrum Master's back, where they were telling nasty thing about him, right? So he was there for himself, like he was there to get that promotion, he was there to move up, and he wasn't believing in any of these. He was using these Scrum transformation as a mean for his own, which left a very bad taste in everyone's mouth. Like you could imagine, like the developers learned about that and figure out, oh, like the product that we put out there is not aligned with the vision that the organization has, with the vision that the other product is going. Like we probably need to shut this down in a year, right? So, and you work on this one for the past 6 months, right? Because he had the information and he was not sharing. So that was one of the, like, and at that session that we learned these things, I was so mad, and that I had to leave the room, right? Because if I had stayed in the room, I would have said something that I would regret.
I can feel the anger,
Right.
anger bubbling up as you were going through that. We've talked sometimes about like product owners that throw the team under the bus and blame
Right.
others, but and that probably happened in this case. But you were hinting at some other behaviors that I would like to explore a bit further. You said just in passing that this product owner was using the Scrum transformation as a means to grow their own career and to go on to bigger and greater things. But you didn't say how. How was he doing that?
Right. So this was a large organization. So it was like 60,000 people part of this organization. So we were working on mortgage application. As I said, like most of my clients were financial clients. Like we were working on a mortgage application, and we were trying to do the MVP, right? For example, do the minimum viable product that the mortgage advisors can use, right? And so this we deemed that the MVP could be just the automation of like a PDF filling process that they can do for the first 6 months, and it was very very nicely adding value for the mortgage advisor at that time. So instead of them filling it out, like the PDF would be pre-filled, so they would save time, right? For them was good. But later on, we realized that there was a vision for a bigger, like the more inclusive product that's happening, that the PDF filling is not part of it. So this team could be part of the greater journey for that mortgage application, right? That it was brewing up in the organization. And if you ask me, it's the roles and if she or he doesn't know about it, but that's your role. That's your role to go inside the organization, tell everyone what this team is doing about, and hear what other people are doing about that is related to your product. Bring them in, show them that this is what we do in a sprint review. Like they would be excited about it. Like they give you input, right? And that was missing, right? And we didn't know how that.
So connecting the value that the team could bring to the wider vision for the company, right? And kind of putting the team's work out there in a way that could be used by other teams and even other product owners.
Right.
And I think that's really a key point, right? Because the product owner, especially in a multiple teams and potentially multiple products or a bigger product organization, the product owner is not there only to manage the backlog and make sure that the team has story, right? They are there also to create the vision for the product, and if they are part of a bigger product, to bring the team along with that vision, helping the team understand what else is being done so that they understand what their role is. And when that is forgotten, of course, that's a big risk for the team, because as you said, right, like at some point the team even felt, hey, we're going to get canceled anyway.
Right. Yeah.
Absolutely. Quite a call to attention for us as Scrum Masters to pay attention to that dynamic between the product owner and other product owners, not just with the team. So Shahin, that was the bad example, if you will, but obviously we also want to have the opposite, the great example. Describe for us what might have been potentially the best product owner you've ever worked with.
Yeah, so the best product owner that I work with, I can imagine him, right? He came from a marketing background. So he didn't have anything to do with product ownership. He didn't have to do anything with the Scrum, with agility. But what he was good at, and I really enjoyed working with him, was that he was very good at facilitation. He was very good at hearing and listening to people so that they feel that he's empathetic with them, not only saying that, like he goes through the journey with the customer that we bring in and do a test with them. And he was very good at listening to feedback. So it was not like a product owner that might say, hey, we heard your feedback and we are going to think about it and get back to you. This wasn't like that. He was curious at, okay, so where this feedback is coming from, do you mind telling me more about this? He was open to looking at the process of if this feedback needed to came early, what did he miss on that part? So he was very, like, in one word, he was a growth oriented minded. He was very open minded. And he was, as I said, he was very good at facilitating the conversations, and he was proactive at doing those. So in the previous example, as I said, was a really disastrous product owner. As a Scrum Master, one rule of thumb would be to see if your product owner is facilitating the conversation with other parties. If that person is not having the conversation and collaboration with other parties, that's a sign for you that you need to jump in and help or ask, like, what is happening, right? Do we need to have conversation, like what part? But that was amazing. And one of the project that we worked together was an NDA project, like, and it bear a huge fruit for that organization, and it was going through lots of changes that were not at that time were very favorable, if you may, but he was able to navigate those conversations very comfortably. And
I'm happy that you use the word conversations, right? Because actually that's also a key aspect of our work as Scrum Masters. We need to be where the conversation is happening, because otherwise we don't know what's going on. We don't have access to the people who can help us solve the problems for the teams. And obviously, our relationship with our teams is mostly conversation, right? It's understanding what they're going through, is figuring out what are the challenges, creating an environment of collaboration and helping each other and succeeding together with the teams. And that is done through conversation. So I'm really happy that you mentioned that. And of course, as you said, it is a key skill for product owner. It might be a module that I have to work on for the Coach Your Product Owner e-course, which is this how to facilitate great and productive conversations.
Right. And the facilitation is different from the facilitation, like a little bit different from the facilitation that you do with the team, right? Because like your customer might be saying something to you and they not know exactly what the value they're having. So you need to be like they're coaching light conversation that need to be facilitated. You need to be more curious, peel the onion, right? Depending on your vision, like the horizons that you have and what you're hearing, you might need to bring different customers and they might bring a good conversation together. So there are lots of things to, as a product owner, to focus on.
Absolutely. Great, Shahin. It's been a pleasure to have you here this week. We're getting close to the end, but before we do go, where can people find out more about you and the work that you're doing?
They can find me on LinkedIn for sure, and Twitter. I have a website, elevatechange.co or .co, that I typically post some interesting topics there, like there and all of my contact information is there as well. Like there's a podcast there are like training there, like, or if you want to just get in touch with me, that would be a place to find my information.
Absolutely. And we'll put the link to all of those on the show notes so that people can easily find and get in touch with Shahin, because of course you can ask follow-up questions and strike a conversation and learn more about what Shahin has shared with us this week. Shahin, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much for your generosity with your time and your knowledge.
No problem. I really appreciate the time that you put into this podcast, and I'm very honored to be on this one.
Hi there, Agile friends. Thank you for sticking around to know more about this year's Agile Online Summit. The summit will have 4 keynotes and 4 tracks you will not want to miss. The keynotes will touch on critical topics for us, from delivering on time to helping you to focus on sustainability. The 4 tracks are tools, so we'll focus on tools you need to excel at your job, but also your mission. We'll also have a track on sustainability, which is, of course, about people and their sustainable pace, but it's also about how do we bring sustainability to the products and the planet we inhabit. We'll have a 3rd track about happiness, talking about doing what we love and, most crucially, loving what we do. And finally, the 4th track will be live. It will be mostly hands-on sessions to help you roll up your sleeves together with the presenters. Oh, and we will also have a coaching clinic, as we usually do, organized to help you discuss and get inspired to solve the hardest challenges you face at work. This year, we'll have a special emphasis on interaction with your peers, so get your ticket and join the Slack at bit.ly/AOS 2022. As always, we have free tickets for anyone that wants to attend live and the VIP tickets for those of you who want to keep the videos forever. So check them out at bit.ly/AOS2022. I'll see you on the conference floor. One more week of the Scrum Master Toolbox podcast is over. But there's a lot more we have to share. We have developed our own membership site where you find a community of active and engaged Scrum Masters. In this site, you get access to exclusive content and get to interact with us, your podcast hosts, as well as the best Scrum Masters in the world. Join us at scrummastertoolbox.com/podcast and keep this podcast free of advertising. See you next week for one more week full of Scrum Master tips and tricks. We really hope you liked our show. And if you did, why not rate this podcast on Stitcher or iTunes? Share this podcast and let other Scrum Masters know about this valuable resource for their work. Remember that sharing is caring.